Welcome back to Legalese 123, where we are covering cases across America. Hello and welcome back to Legalese 123. I'm your host, Missy K. I hope you are doing well on this Thursday, the 26th of February. Only 2 more days left before our beloved February says goodbye. Some of us might be saying, yay, goodbye. No more snow, no more hot, cold. We don't know we don't know if we're in fifth winter or early spring or summer. And maybe March is going to be a little bit better. So hopefully that's good. I woke up very early this morning and I made some chocolate chip oat banana bread this morning, and it was really good. So that's very fun. What have you been doing lately? What's anything new and exciting with you? So what are we doing? Well, we are going back to court. Yesterday was a big wah where we had planned the day ahead and I had everything all set up and I was doing it live. No, wah. So we're going back to our regular formatting programming where I'm going to be recording said witnesses and then posting it. Long story short, today we have the evidence lady is back on the stand. And why do I say the evidence lady? Because that is what Miss Nestor had called her yesterday. She said, let's just boil it down. You are the evidence lady. So unfortunately, yesterday, court was abruptly halted. The judge had something else going on where he needed to take care of other matters. Hopefully it's nothing personal. Hopefully it's just, business as usual. And so we are back at it today. So let's bring this up and we will go ahead and get started. Oh, court TV is being court TV today. We decided to do court TV today instead of law and crime. And we'll see how this goes. All right, judgy judge. Poor Miss Gibson. This is now her third day of testimony. And all right, day 4 of the Kouri Richins trial. Remember, this is going to be a 5-week trial. If I said the 25th, I'm wrong. It's the 26th. I think I said the 26th. I'd like to hope I said the 26th. Okay, Miss Chelsea Gibson, evidence lady, is back on the stand. Travis. Keep saying you all. Okay. As much as I love this and I love her and I love everything that's going on, we're going to speed this up a little bit. We're just going to go just a smidge because it could go a little fast. So we'll see. Excuse me? Excuse me? Hello? Hello? The investigator is turning over evidence. So Mr. Gabler is Gaber, I don't know just yet. He is the private investigator that the Richins family hired to essentially investigate her, but he said it could go either way. So interesting. They got the computer from Mr. Gabler. All right. There's some matter at hand. Oh, they might be talking about the pictures on the wall of the children. Oh, let's take a picture of that. What did you find? Right. Because in the opening statements, just remind you, I believe in the opening statements or at some point in time, it said that Kouri, yeah, opening statements, she had unlocked her phone at 3:08, took about 234 steps, don't quote me, took 234 steps, and then, like, her phone was unlocked again and whatever, and then she didn't call 911 until a little bit later. I have that in my notes. 3:06 unlocks phone, takes 243 steps. Like, again, well, sorry, at 3:06, I think she unlocks her phone. It's 2:40. At 3:08, she takes 243 steps. 3:10, 3:15 unlocks the phone. Not until 3:21 does she call 911. So, are they trying to estimate whether or not she actually went in and made sure, like, he was deceased before calling 911? I don't know. Making assumptions here. Come on, you gotta wrap it up in a nice little bow. So, is she making points? Is she making waves? She's making points, but I just feel she's a little clunky. She's just because I feel like she's like all over the place. I wish she's a little more buttoned up. She's making some points, but I just don't feel like they're gonna hit or they're uh-oh. They did not like that. I can't attest that it ran into the home, but it ran into the home. Get clarification on that. I'm going to go back up. Okay, she just double talked herself. Let's go back and hear what she said. We only look for decedent's medications or medications that can be misused, right? Medications that could be misused. What is preventing him from using her medications? I don't know. I mean, they went back later and seized hers. Why? Why? You found gummies, which are an illicit drug, right? Marijuana gummies in the pocket of that jacket. Why not take the jacket? You went back and searched and found a jacket of hers. Again, I'm not saying this is something nefarious or anything of that nature, but it's just like, well, I mean, it's the job of the defense to poke holes in things. And why'd you get that? Right. Okay, the tweezers and small plastic were found in. Why didn't they seize it at the time that they found it in there? From who? What? How? From who? What secret phone calls are we talking about? All right. We are now on 13, Dr. Peterson. Dr. Peterson, I believe, was Eric's personal doctor. By the power of Zoom, I compel thee to go faster. But that means at some point in time, oh. Invite the jury. Oh, I forgot to say. I forgot. Court's in session. I forgot. All right. Dude, you got to stand up. There you go. Jury in. All rise for the court. Court's not in session. Brianna Peterson. She's probably going to testify about the drugs that she prescribed to Eric Richins and what they are and why. Oh. Okay, so I was wrong. I thought that this was his doctor because I thought I heard the Peterson name. Peterson's a common name. She's the toxicologist. Okay. And that's how it's done. Okay. Sorry. Trying to eat breakfast here. So a lot of really interesting things here. Well, we know that it was 5 times the legal limit. There was other numbers and what have you as to what the limit was. And that I believe what she was saying is that the fentanyl that was given to him is not a prescribed one, right? Not one that is manufactured by drug companies. She's saying it was illicit, which sounds to me that it was produced illegally. And so it wasn't a that's what I'm understanding. She couldn't conclude that uh the fentanyl and quetiapine were taken together. But she said that there was no alcoholic beverages in his system. And I want to know if had he had a drink, because so let's just play devil's advocate here. If it's alleged that Kouri potentially might have put this fentanyl in a drink and they celebrated with the drink, but he's got no alcohol in his system. I need to know, and I'm not a medical person, not a doctor, not a toxicologist, whatever. I need to know, did the alcohol, like perhaps what dosage of alcohol may or may not have had, that it just like evaporated and it's no longer in his system, or did he not have it at all? So if she's alleged to have poisoned him with the fentanyl and quetiapine, how did it enter his system? So now I have questions, and that is exactly what the defense is trying to do, is to poke the holes. let's she just made the lawyer's testifying and she made a statement. So let me just see what she had to say. Not necessarily. So that's a no, ma'am. No. I mean, I see where she was going. She's like, okay, so look, Eric Richins, he's taken fentanyl before, right? I mean, like, this isn't his first time, right? So let's just jump to this conclusion that man, he's taken it before, so he's this drug user, right? And so, this is what happened. Otherwise, he'd have just died right away, right? And she's like, I don't agree with that. No, 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 no. So she did not win that one. It was a good question, but lawyers typically know the answer before it's going to be uh, asked. And she didn't get the answer she was looking for. She got shut down. So now she's got to pivot. How's she going to pivot? Let's go back a few seconds. Well, you're testifying. Right. Right. Just say you can't answer. Okay, we have to go back a little bit. Potentially, I might have lost some audio. So let's see. Hopefully, we'll get
Hours
this
after
done.
that, they wouldn't.
Again, I don't even know what dosage was taken, and I don't know this individual's history of use with this drug. So I can just say what was detected in the blood, what was detected in the gastric, and I can provide general information about absorption of alcohol and drugs and timeframes.
All right, so he might have lived longer had he. This was not the first time he took fentanyl. He may have lived longer after he took the fentanyl.
Again, I don't know what dose was taken.
All right, I'm basing it on what was in the blood. You know how much was in the blood, which can give you an idea, approximately, of a dose that was taken. Fair?
To say I can't answer that. I don't know. I can't
I'm
guess.
assuming it. I'm not sure what you mean by dose, like how many micrograms of fentanyl were taken.
All right. You've testified that 15 nanograms per milliliter is 5 times more than a lethal dose of fentanyl.
Correct.
All right. So, and I understand, we don't know if that meant he ingested 1 pill of fentanyl or 5 pills of fentanyl. We don't know that. True?
Correct.
All right. However, he clearly took more than, and you're going to have to help me with the numbers because I don't know how it converts from milligrams taken to what's in the blood. But you said a lethal dose could be as low as 3 milligram or 3 nanograms per milliliter.
A lethal concentration.
So in your experience as a toxicologist, wouldn't that give you some idea of the amount of fentanyl that was ingested to result in that in the blood? Maybe not exactly, but you would have an idea.
Well, again, previously I testified about postmortem redistribution, so I'm not aware if that happened or not and could have elevated that concentration of fentanyl. So there's limitations to being able to say what dose ended up with this concentration.
All right, let's try and put this in terms for a layperson. You're handed a fentanyl pill. It's got 1 milligram of fentanyl in it. Is that a lethal dose of fentanyl? Could it be? I know you don't know, because it would depend on the individual.
Yes.
All right. And if someone took 1 milligram, a 1 milligram pill of fentanyl, and give me a range of what you would expect to see in the blood. Would that be more or less than what you saw here? A range. I know you can't tell me exactly.
So let's say you're given a 800 microgram dose of fentanyl, because fentanyl is very potent.
1 milligram
so
would be a lot of fentanyl,
yeah, we don't
right?
give milligrams,
Okay.
we give micrograms, so 1,000-fold less.
Thank you.
But therapeutically, you're trying to get into that 2 to 5 nanogram range, because it's a very small window of when it's therapeutic and when it's fatal. So.
All right. I think that helps me with my question. So someone's given a therapeutic dose of fentanyl in the hospital, which apparently is nanograms, because milligrams is a lot when it comes to fentanyl.
Micrograms, yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if I ever took a science class in college. So, what would you expect to see range-wise in the blood had someone had a therapeutic dose of fentanyl in the hospital? Let's say they died, not for some reason or another, after they had that therapeutic dose of fentanyl. What range would you expect to see in the blood?
All right, so clinically, when they dose people, then like 2 to 3 nanograms per milliliter.
All right. So he clearly took more, obviously, than a therapeutic dose.
I can't make that conclusion.
Well, it would be pretty unusual to see 15 nanograms per milliliter if normally you think you'd see 2 or 3. Or I think you said lower than that, I'm sorry.
But again, I don't know if postmortem redistribution occurred. I don't know this individual's history of use with this drug. And so if they had tolerance, they could take a higher dose and be able to be alive with a higher concentration.
All right. And we don't know that. Okay, let me just boil it down. Is it possible, based on the findings here, that Mr. Richins ingested fentanyl and then after he ingested the fentanyl, he had a drink of alcohol? We don't know how much, but he had a drink. That's a possibility. True?
True.
All right. I want to talk about the quetiapine for a minute. Now, quetiapine is not naturally produced in the body after someone dies, right?
Correct.
So he had to have ingested quetiapine.
Correct.
And it appears that it was not a very high dose. You said it was probably a fairly low dose of quetiapine.
In the gastric, yes.
In the gastric. And again, the quetiapine had not made it to the blood. He died before there was a chance for the quetiapine to make its way into his blood. Correct?
There was no quetiapine above our threshold for performing a confirmation test.
Well, you couldn't measure any quetiapine in the blood. True?
No.
You did measure some in the blood.
Yes.
And where's that in your report?
It wasn't above our threshold for reporting or performing a confirmation test.
So in your report, there's no indication that quetiapine was found in the blood.
Correct.
And your report's accurate.
Correct.
All right. So again, quetiapine takes about the same amount of time to hit the blood as fentanyl, more or less, about 30 minutes.
Correct.
So a very possible scenario, likely scenario, is that he ingested the fentanyl before the quetiapine. Fair?
No.
Well, if you took them together, they would have both been in the blood,
That's
right?
not true. I mean, if you didn't take a dose that would lead to a concentration that's reportable in the blood, doesn't mean you didn't take it. It just means that it wasn't at a concentration high enough to be above our threshold for reporting.
I understand that, but maybe my question wasn't clear. Whatever amount of quetiapine he took, there was not a measurable, reportable amount in his blood.
That is correct.
The fentanyl he took, there was.
That is correct.
The fentanyl had made its way to his blood prior to him passing.
That is correct.
The quetiapine had not.
Not above a concentration that would be reported by us.
Not even in a concentration that you noted in any way.
Correct.
So it is possible that he took the fentanyl and then later took quetiapine. That's a possibility.
Sure.
All right. So one possibility here is that Mr. Richins ingested fentanyl, and then within the next 15, 20, 30 minutes, he had a drink and took quetiapine. That's a possibility. Correct?
Sure.
All right. Just give me a moment, please. Your Honor, I have no further questions at this time. Thank you, Dr. Peters.
Mr. Burmester, within the scope of cross, please.
Taking up where we last were, aren't there other equally possible hypotheticals, such as a drink of alcohol with quetiapine and fentanyl taken at the same time?
Sure.
Is the problem that there aren't enough, there are too many variables that are left unknown that we can't fix any of those? We can't fix the hypothetical and say one is more likely than another because there are too many variables?
Yes.
One of those is that you can't tell this jury whether the alcohol in the gastric fluid came from an alcoholic beverage or decomposition.
Correct.
When you look at the 15 nanograms of fentanyl and the 3.3 of norfentanyl, can you give any insight as, is there a relationship, those numbers have some sort of relationship that we can tell anything from that? For example, how long ago it was taken, that sort of thing?
So assumptions still have to be made. So you would have, one assumption is this person has never used fentanyl before. Then that means that they lived long enough for the body to form norfentanyl. But for me, I have no idea their history of use. So there could be norfentanyl still present from a prior use, and then the new fentanyl was taken, and maybe they died before it started to metabolize, but that norfentanyl is still present from a prior use. But once fentanyl is absorbed into the blood, as soon as that happens, it's circulating, can get to the liver, and that norfentanyl can start to appear right away. So within a few minutes, you're going to start having norfentanyl formed and present in the blood once the fentanyl is absorbed into the blood.
Whether you're a previous user or a new user.
Correct.
We have the marker, possible marker of the acetyl fentanyl. And if we make an assumption that that came from the same source as the fentanyl.
No, I think that's beyond the scope. I didn't ask her anything about this. I don't know.
Well, let's see what the rest of the question is, and then you can renew your objection. Go ahead, Mr. Burmester.
We can make the assumption that it was an illicit source as opposed to a illicit source.
Same objection.
Sustain. Just keep going.
Okay, it's fine. That's all. The
Anything
questions I have.
further, Ms. Lewis?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're welcome to step down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So there we go. The morning of Kouri Richins, day 4. We have 2 witnesses on the stand. Remember, I'm trying to make this concise. We had the Chelsea Gibson, I think it's with a P, not a B. She made a lot of the evidence lady, right? We we realized that Mr. Graber, the investigator, has his hands on a whole bunch of things. Is that good or bad? Don't know. What, if anything, did he find? And is that like illegal search and seizure? Is it fruit from the poisonous tree? What's coming in? What isn't? I don't know. It is sus to me. And it is also sus to me that they have gone in there 10 different times to find things, right? So that I'm not sure what to make of it just yet. We're still so early in the case. I don't know what to make of that yet. Then we have the they checked this, but then they didn't check that, and then they came back and checked something else, and then they didn't check this, they tested this, they didn't test that. So, I don't know. Still too early. I'm still making up my mind with that. All right, so Dr. Peterson, she was fabulous. She basically just said, listen, there was 5 times the dose of fentanyl. It's an illicit drug. You can go into all of these hypotheticals. Did he take fentanyl and then drink and had the quetiapine? Did he take it all at the same time? She couldn't ascertain that at all. She couldn't say whether or not he was an avid fentanyl user, that he was or that he wasn't. So again, it's sort of like maybe the defense is going to put on their own toxicologist and it'll be the battle of the experts. So I can't say definitively one way or the other. Are you leaning towards something? Let me know what you think in the comments. So we're going to go ahead and stop this stream, post it, and then we'll continue on later. Hope you like and subscribe. Thanks for watching Legalese 123. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe for more content.